I can tell you this. I've seen like email chain, for example, where a bunch of reporters were debating and arguing back and forth on the issue of safety of the vaccines. So that's what should be happening in any news reporting organization. It's a debate and a healthy discussion where there's no censorship. But at one point in that email chain, someone in authority at the CBC stepped in and basically one of the reporters was saying there's no scientific disagreement on the issue of safety of these vaccines. And that person in authority at the CBC stepped in and essentially endorsed that other reporter's position. And they said it was a critical, important point. So what effect does that have on that debate that was going on? It effectively shut down the debate when the person in authority tells you, well, this is the position, like the official position. And it ended that debate.
Robert Kraychik here for Rebel News here in Ottawa, Ontario. This is the second day of the National Citizens Inquiry. This is a conference that's inviting a series of speakers, subject matter experts, concerned Canadians, other sorts of newsworthy, noteworthy persons to share their insights and observations, their experiences across what I call the COVID-19 enterprise. Specifically, the conference organizers seek to have an examination of both the provincial and federal government's policies across the past 2.5 years under the auspices of public health. So stay tuned for more reports. So I'm here with Jean-Philippe Chabot, a former CBC employee. You mentioned during your testimony that you were an analyst. You were sort of doing back-end digital type maintenance. Is that a fair estimate?
Yeah, that's right. Software quality analyst, mostly. So I used to work for TouTV, which is a streaming service for the French-speaking side of CBC. So basically everything from testing that everything's working correctly, writing documentation, and help the developers do their work and introduce new features in the services. I worked on all that.
Now, I understand that you were employed by the CBC and that you were subsequently suspended because you refused to disclose your vaccination status. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, before you tell us...
So, Jean-Philippe is noteworthy in the context of this conference because you were terminated due to refusal to disclose your vaccination status. And there was sort of this long process, this ordeal that led to that. I missed the beginning of your testimony. I'm wondering if you may have mentioned what the causes of your initial hesitancy, reluctance, resistance towards disclosure of the vaccine status as it's described, or even, I don't know if this is TMI or too personal, but your own decision not to use it. You mentioned later in your testimony that you had considerations, concerns, worries about your health, especially given that you're a father of these beautiful children that I see here behind the camera. And I'm just wondering, what was it that may have been the impetus for that suspicion when all of the ostensible medical authorities are telling you, Jean-Philippe, safe and effective? Why didn't you believe the mantra?
Well, first of all, I wasn't terminated officially. I was put on leave without pay, indefinite leave without pay. But the reason I didn't disclose, basically the CBC knew I wasn't vaccinated because I had conversations over the phone with them. I wasn't shy about disclosing that, but I didn't want to disclose it officially because I thought it was unlawful on their part to ask us to do that.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but unfortunately, as you know, big tech as YouTube doesn't want us to show you the other side of the story. So if you want to see what have been said during the National Citizen Inquiry, click on the link below, see the full video, and don't forget, if you want to help us with our journalism, go to rebelfieldreports.com and make a donation. Thanks, guys.